The tall sinister shadow watcher. I laid on my sad excuse of a bed. A tiny mat in my closet-like room. I had been suffering night terrors for months. I'd wake up bleeding, screaming, crying, and tonight I woke up paralyzed. I couldn't move anything but my eyes, and in the corner of my room there was a formed shadow in the shape of a very tall older gentleman. He was wearing a dark professional suit that looked very new and well kept. It looked oddly vintage and stylish. He had a cane with a briefcase to pair with his tall wide-brimmed top hat. His skin was deathly pale, clammy and swamp-like. His expression was solemn and blank. He was looking downwards and looked built like a goddamn tank, which looked strange for someone so old. His presence was violent and incredibly imposing. I began to fear for my life and begged and willed my body to move. My body snapped out of it and I could move if I wanted to, yet still I did not move. I looked again and he was still there, silently observing. What a disturbing and perverse individual. Panic and terror paralyzed me. I was so scared I couldn't breath. I looked again. FFFFFCCCCC. At $% and. I silently screamed and looked at the light switch. I followed my instincts and crawled to the light without looking. If I looked I'd be too scared to move once again. I reached shaking and trembling on my knees and barely flicked on the light. I looked in the corner where he had been behind my troll lamp. He wasn't there. I popped open my phone and played the happiest soothing music I could find and grabbed my trusty Bible. I focused on reading my Bible as I lay face down on my mat reading and listening for hours until the sun rose and I heard my mother's door open upstairs. I practically sprinted upstairs sobbing and trembling, begging my mother for help. I now had an appointment with a $100 an hour witch doctor. My mother was visibly upset and shook. At the end of the session this powerful man was visibly shaken when I described the man. He shook and trembled while he wrote down a documentary site. He was already past his hour. I wasn't the first person to come to him with such a description. He believed me. I was so wishing I was just insane. There wasn't much information on such things, he whispered in a hushed tone. He said the Spanish people and Spanish history is riddled with mythical creatures and dark terrors of the night. He said the Spanish take such things like ghosts and spirits much more seriously. That was all. He wished me luck. He had to go. He was already late. He biked 12 kilometers on a moment's notice to speak with me. To say the least. I almost dropped my laptop. I couldn't finish the documentary. I was too shook. The shadow man left only to return a decade later. Who cares? I had reprieve for now.